Chapter 3. French Defense, Advance Variation, Milner-Barry Gambit. We will replay the main line and the important sublines, with pauses for tactics. E4, E6, D4, D5, E5, C5, C3, Queen B6, Knight F3, Knight C6, Bishop D3. Welcome back. Today, we are diving deep into the sharp waters of the Milner-Barry Gambit in the French advance. Continuing the idea. This game highlights the psychological pressure of the line, the danger of declining it incorrectly, and a masterclass in endgame pin execution. Here it is, the Milner-Barry setup. Continuing the idea. White deliberately leaves the d4 pawn undefended. To an intermediate player, this looks like a blunder. To an advanced player, it is a declaration of war. Continuing the idea. White offers material to buy a massive lead in development and open lines against the uncastled black king. C takes d4. C takes d4. Bishop d7. Black plays the standard testing sequence. Mainline theory says white should castle and allow black to take on d4. That is when white enters the true gambit with full compensation. Bishop e2. But in our game, white backs away from the sacrifice. This retreat is a psychological mistake. If you play the Milner-Barry, you must be ready to give up the pawn. Continuing the idea. Retreating the bishop loses a crucial tempo and hands the initiative straight to black. Let's see what happens if kingside castles is played instead of bishop e2. Kingside castles. Knight takes d4. Knight takes d4. Queen takes d4. Knight c3. This is the real Milner-Barry spirit. White gives up the pawn but gains rapid development, open lines, and attacking chances before black has castled. Let's return back to the main line. Knight h6. Knight c3. Advanced students should know the hyper-sharp sideline with bxh6. Black can win material on the queen side, but the resulting structure and king safety issues are very concrete. Continuing the idea. In the game, white chooses standard development, allowing black to keep targeting the d4 weakness. Let's see what happens if bishop takes h6 is played instead of knight c3. Bishop takes h6. Queen takes b2. Knight bd2. G takes h6. Rook b1. Queen takes a2. Rook takes b7. Knight b4. Kingside castles. Please feel free to pause the video and find the tactic. Black to play and find the best continuation. If you found queenside castles, excellent. Let's see the idea on the board. Queenside castles. After black castles queenside, the white rook on b7 is trapped. Continuing the idea. Black wins material, so this sideline is dangerous for white despite the open files and black's damaged kingside structure. Let's return back to the main line. Knight f5. Knight a4. Queen a5, check. Knight c3. White is forced to shuffle. If black wanted a draw, black could return to b6 and repeat the position. But black notices that white is playing passively and decides to play for a win. Let's see what happens if bishop d2 is played instead of knight c3. Bishop d2. Bishop b4. Knight c3. Knight takes d4. This is one of the concrete complications white avoided. Black can emerge with a solid extra pawn if white is not ready for the tactical details. Let's return back to the main line. Bishop b4. Black breaks the repetition and increases the pressure on c3, forcing the game into hyper-tactical territory. Kingside castles. Bishop takes c3. B takes c3. Queen takes c3. Bishop d2. Queen a3. Rook b1. Rook b8. Black has grabbed the queenside spoils. Take a look at this position. Black is up 2 pawns, but white still has real compensation. Continuing the idea. Black's king is stuck in the center, white owns the b-file, and those 2 bishops are ready to slice through the board. g4. White lashes out, driving the f5 knight away. This is the right kind of energy when you are down material. Use the initiative before black consolidates. Knight takes d4. Knight takes d4. Knight takes d4. Bishop b4. Knight takes e2, check. Queen takes e2. Queen h3. Black's queen looks far from home on h3, but black has collected 2 extra pawns. The game now hinges on whether white's initiative arrives before black coordinates. Bishop d6. Rook c8. Rook takes b7. h5. g5. Queen g4, check. Queen takes g4. H takes g4. Trading queens is a massive strategic victory for black. Continuing the idea. It completely defuses white's attacking initiative and shifts the battle into an endgame where black's extra pawns and active pieces can become decisive. Rook takes a7. More flexible was keeping the rook central with rd1. The text wins another pawn, but it gives black time for a powerful regrouping. Rook h3. Rook d1. d4. Genius. Mark this move down for your own games. Black unleashes a clearance sacrifice. Continuing the idea. By giving up the d-pawn, black opens the long diagonal for the light-squared bishop and prepares to dominate the d-file. White accepts, but it is a trap. Bishop a3. d3. Bishop b4. d2. Bishop takes d2. Rook d3. Look at the board now. The bishop on d2 is completely pinned against the white king. White is completely paralyzed. King f1. Bishop b5. King e1. Rook c d8. Black piles on the pinned piece. The pressure on d2 is unbearable, and white has no comfortable way to untangle the king and bishop. a4. Bishop c6. g6. F takes g6. Rook c1. Bishop f3. Black calmly steps aside and weaves a mating net. The bishop on f3 covers e2, keeps the king restricted, and makes the d-file pressure decisive. Bishop g5. Rook d1, check. Rook takes d1. Rook takes d1, checkmate. Checkmate. As we saw in this lesson, white's passive bishop e2 lets black seize the initiative. After the queen trade, black's clearance sacrifice with d4 opens the bishop, and the final d-file pin ends in checkmate.